How do you feel about what's happening in the development and the relationships? The country seems to be divided between people who love the president and the changes in the government and people who are totally opposed. And people in the United States are confused. They don't know. They have misconceptions. And maybe you can comment on how you see Venezuela evolving, changing.
You have changes in which the people voted overwhelmingly to bring in a new order. These revolutionary changes that had profound impact and influence that spread like lightning throughout Latin America. This is what the War of Independence was all about, to free the people. So you had hundreds of years product of slavery, and then later a small elite enslaving such large population and exploiting them. And of course you're going to have poverty that is inherited from year to year, decade to decade, generation to generation, century to century. Of course the businesses would love to continue this dealing with this small group and ignoring the public, but this is not going on forever. It has changed. There's another important aspect which had an effect on the way Venezuela is perceived. This was when President Chavez took the initiative to speak out against the terrible horror of devastation, suffering that was caused, by the war in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Lebanon, the West Bank, and Gaza. So his stand against this waging of war, especially of Iraq under the Bush administration, taking such a strong stand, provoked a sense of resentment among the people who were advancing the ideas of war. At that time, many other countries took similar stand. There was a lot of opposition worldwide against the war. Countries like France, Germany, Italy took a stand against the war and opposed the war for a long time. There were huge demonstrations. This was nothing new. What was different here is that someone is taking a stand against the war and criticizing the United States. Someone from a country like Venezuela, a country that traditionally was not supposed to have such a voice on the international scene. This goes back to the idea of superpowers and colonial powers in which these great nations would tell other subservient, underdeveloped countries, especially in Latin America and the Middle East, they would tell them, they are told what to say or what to do. They are not going to make a stand on their own, criticizing it. So this created even deeper suspicion and to aggressive criticism in the hostile media. And of course, through this criticism, an opposition was created, an opposition that took the form of parody, ridicule, and the spreading of rumors, innuendos, misinformation, while completely ignoring to report any positive news, any accomplishment about Venezuela's advancement, progress, achievement. As a consequence, the general population in the US, and especially here, knows very little or almost nothing about Venezuela. Even in, I remember when I was talking about Venezuela, having an exhibition there, even highly educated people didn't even know where Venezuela was. So now, here has become known through the leadership of a president who has taken such a very strong stand and promulgated incredible programs that have attracted the attention of almost everybody. Here it is the political issues, political that how you take a stand and criticize. So what the people read or see in the media reflect what mostly what is bad, and usually associated, the news, talk about Venezuela in terms of drugs, in terms of crimes, robberies, kidnapping, or anything that may appear kind of a menace or a danger to society and politically. Of course, always we've had this for many years, long before even the Cuban crisis and the distrust of social programs. Okay, in Europe, they sort of overlooked the social programs of France, of Germany, and the entire nation, or the Scandinavian. They were for a while these almost too close to socialist and even communist. Here, of course, you get to bring up the same thing. This is a very dangerous thing for society. You're going to have a lot of misinformation, which is most unfortunate. Some people here are even led to believe that there is some kind of anarchy or civil war in Venezuela. Any analysis of, when you look at the opposition, you see that it's made largely of members of the old regime. In the case of Venezuela, the old political parties, COPE and Acción Democrática, these two parties that were exchanging hands every 4 to 8 years. Many of them took part. They were part of the coup d'etat that failed in 2002 against Chavez. They remain free, and they maintain a very strong opposition through the media that they own and they control. At times they confuse freedom of expression with freedom of spreading false information in an effort to cause confusion in the people's perception of their government and leadership. This form of opposition has its roots in a very long history and hostility and antagonistic attitudes toward many Latin American leaders and reformists who went ahead and promulgated changes through social programs or any kind of program that would benefit the larger population and create wider participation and bring back the issues of services such as healthcare, education, equal rights, and social justice. So the old governing bodies that used to have such huge concentration of power, today they find themselves kind of weak. They are on the sideline, marginalized. Consequently, they are using all that is at their means and disposal to create division or confusion and even destabilization. It's a very serious situation. And it's been going on. But the fact of the matter is an overwhelming majority of Venezuela love and support Chavez to an incredible degree.